Alright, hello everybody, I'm back. Alright, so, I know it's been a long time, but I wanted to bring back the video. So this video is going to be on the Spider-Man 2099 retro card. So here he is. You can see that he has two extra sets of hands. He has more of a wall crawling hands, and he also has the claws like the ones in the art here on the card. Alright, let's look at the back real quick. Right, so here's the other figures that are in the set. There's the Uncanny Spider-Man Nightcrawler, the Spider-Venom, Marvel's Owl, Hypno Hustler, and Cardiac. I did also get myself these two because I was able to find them. Right, so the art overall for the card does look really nice. They did a really good job with it. The style looks really good, and the colors on the figure, right here that we can see before I open it, do look really nice. He is slightly a lighter blue than some of the other figures, maybe from Mafex or Mezco, but he does look pretty good. Alright, so now let's get to the unboxing. Alright, so here's the figure. Got him out of the box. Alright, so let's get him up close. Let's get it in focus. Alright, so you can see him here. They did a really nice job with the paint job. And you can also see his cape in the back. It's a little hard to tell on camera, but they gave it like a little bit of a blue pearlescent effect on top of just the white like cream color that's made of. You can also remove it. It's just a peg. It would have been nice if it was maybe like on a ball joint so you could, you know, move it up and down. But like this, you can still rotate it a little when you put them into poses. All right, let me take it off right now. All right, so here's the figure. Let's turn them around. There's a little bit of paint missing right here, like little paint smudges that you can see, which sucks that, you know, they can't do a better job of that not happening, but it's still a really nice figure. You can see there the peg hole for the cape, and then there's the whole figure. Right, so he also comes with two sets of hands like I'd shown. He comes with the clawed, like the clawed hands that he does in the pose, and then he also comes with wall crawling hands right there. This one also has like a little bit of a paint smudge missing right there. You can see it. Right, so let me show first a little bit of a comparison with some other figures that I own. Alright, so here's some comparisons. This is the Nightcrawler Uncanny Spider-Man next to the 2099. He is slightly shorter than him. Now, here's the Game Reverse Thanos that came with the Psylocke. Obviously, Thanos is a big character, so you can obviously see he's like a whole inch taller than the 2099 is. Here's Akuma from the Jada toys from Street Fighters. They're about the same size, just because Akuma's ponytail beats him in height by just a little. And then here's the SH Figuarts the Goku Super Saiyan Blue. They're also about the same height, besides Goku's hair obviously being really tall as well. Alright, now let's take a look at the articulation. Alright, so let's start with the head. That's about as far as he can look up. As far as he can look down, which is almost nothing. He can do a full 360 of the head. And then for arms, I'm just going to do one of them. But there it goes about that high up. And then there's the shoulder joint, which can move back a little and then move forward as well. The arm can go in a full 360. You can go in a full 360 here as well. Double joints for the elbows. And the wrist too, full 360 with a slight swivel. And then at the chest, there's a ball joint, and then farther down by the waist, there's a second joint too. So he can go like that with just the waist, and then he can pose even slightly farther down also from the chest joint, which opens up a little back here, but it's not really that big of a problem. And then for the legs, there's a thigh swivel. You can do a full 360. There's also a calf swivel. They can do a full 360. There's double joints at the knees, you can see right there. And then there is actually a joint at the toe, so you can bend it up or down. There's also an ankle swivel, and then you can also bend the whole foot up or the other way. And then in general for the legs, that's as far as he can kick up. It's about, he can't really go back. It's probably like as far as it goes. Out, he's pretty close to being able to do the splits. Let me focus right there. Right. And then obviously if you want to count the cape as one of the other joints, like I said, it's just a peg, so you just put it in and all you can do is move it side to side, which isn't too bad, but we'll see right now how he looks like in a couple poses I want to show him in right now. Alright, so now that we've seen some posing, I just want to go over some pros and cons that I feel that I have about the figure. So pros, obviously, good articulation. You can see off the poses that he can strike quite a few, and he can strike probably most of the poses you'd want to strike with the Spider-Man figure. The other thing, it has a great shelf presence. He looks intimidating, which, you know, part of it is why it makes him look so good, like on a shelf probably next to other Spider-Man, or just in general on his own. The other thing is that it's a good value for the price, especially for the articulation that he came with. Now, the only problem would be, for cons, is that it would have been nice if there was a few more accessories, like a head sculpt of Miguel. That would have been great to be able to see him with unmasked. And the other thing is just some QC issues, but that's really small. Like I'd shown you on the shoulder, right there. But overall, my rating, I think, out of a 10 would probably be about an 8 to an 8.5. He's a really good figure for being Marvel Legends compared to, you know, some of the more expensive stuff that's out there like Mafex and other stuff like SH Figuarts. Right, well, that's the review. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later.